What's up, everyone? Y'all know what it is. This is the Allen Powell Show live on a Tuesday night after a game five. We got a closeout game coming up. So a few things I want to talk about. Steph Curry's performance, Andrew Wiggins' performance. What will happen with the MVP situation if the Warriors win game six? So we will talk about that. Also, Tatum and Jaylen Brown. We got to discuss what's going on with them and can they show up in a pivotal uh closeout game in a game six. So we about to get all of that started. I want y'all to come in with your hot takes and your comments. I'm gonna be posting and analyzing your comments, and we're gonna have a good time. Let's get ready to go, y'all. Let's go. Once again, thank y'all for tuning in to another edition of the Allen Powell Show. Got a great show lined up for you today. Oh, let's see. John Gaskew 3, I see you in the YouTube. I think you seen my TikTok post earlier about the LeBron and Jordan. So I'm gonna be monitoring your comments, brother. Maybe we can get you on as a guest. Tell me where you checking in from. What city, what state, and all that good stuff, man. Tell me where you checking in from. Once again, thank y'all for tuning in. We got a lot to discuss. I want to talk about Game 5. Game 5 of the NBA Finals. Checking in for Shot Town. Okay, you close by, my brother. You are close by. I'm in Indiana, so you are very close by, my brother. So, man, that's crazy. That's good. You close by, so yeah, man. Keep checking in, keep commenting, man, and maybe we can do some work together, my brother. But I want to talk about Game 5. Game 5, y'all make sure y'all share this live with y'all people. They can see it, they can comment, and I'll be reading the comments and talking about them as we continue to go. Game 5, where Steph didn't have a great game, but the Warriors still pulled it out. As I always say, role players play better at home. The stars have to show up at home. And role players played better for Golden State on the road. That's why you can get a performance like that from Steph Curry, and Golden State can still win. We had a Draymond sighting. He played decent, and man, it was interesting to see. Just in case people didn't see the game, I was just going to put up some highlights, and y'all can check out what happened in the game. But Andrew Wiggins balled out. He had 26. Clay had a decent game. Steph only had 16. Did not hit a 3-point shot. And it was a total team effort. Even Steve Kerr said that in a post game conference that it was a complete team effort. Got a Johnny checking in on Facebook. Thank you for tuning in, my brother. I definitely want to know your analysis, because I remember before the series we made our predictions. You picked Boston. You was one of the few people that picked Boston. How are you feeling about the Boston Celtics going back home in a closeout game? Based on what we talked about before the series, how are your predictions looking right now? How are you feeling? How are you feeling about what you thought was going to happen? John Askew, checking in. Wiggins have been big the whole series. The job he has done on Tatum is really big. And I'm gonna talk about Andrew Wiggins too, because I made a post about the MVP. I don't want to talk about it right now, but listen, he's in the running. He's in the running. That's all I'm gonna say. But right now I want to just talk about Game 5. And is this series over now? Has Golden State figured them out? This is the first time Boston has lost 2 games back to back. And usually I spoke with one of my guys, and I said, usually in the finals or in the playoffs, period, sooner or later, both teams recognize that one is on top and the other, it ain't nothing you can do. They figured you out. You kind of figured that, okay, we are the better team or they are the better team. And sooner or later in the series, you figure that out. Johnny says, I still like Boston, but it's going to take some luck and execution. Oh, that don't sound too confident with some luck, my brother. But I get what you're saying. They are at home. And luck can play a factor. You get some favorable calls, bounce your way here and there. But you say luck and execution. Usually those two don't go together. But you saying you need some luck and you got to execute the game plan. So I mean, I get it. I get it. But if you depending on luck, I mean, I don't know. John Askew said it's not over, so y'all still believing that Boston still got to say it. So John Askew is actually picking the Celtics in 7. I had actually picked the Golden State Warriors in 5. Of course, that's not happening. It's definitely going to Game 6. But stuff that I said in the predictions early, I believe that Warriors had more scoring options. I believe that. If you seen Wiggins and Johnny, speaking of Johnny, we talked about the weapons on both teams, and I said the Warriors had more weapons. They have more weapons, more that they can choose from as far as Wiggins, Steph, Clay, and Poole. Though I feel like those were the four main people from Golden State that can go off. And we've seen Wiggins be and Steph be the most consistent, and Clay here and there, and then Poole has spurts. Jordan Poole has spurts. But it's starting to show, and and this is my thing with Boston. I feel like they go plenty of time sometimes without scoring or have a hard time scoring. And if you're not getting it from Tatum and Brown on a consistent basis, then it's not happening. It's not happening. So, and they not showing up every game. Tatum, he shows up sometimes. Jaylen Brown shows up sometimes, but it's not on a consistent basis. Curry has been consistent the whole series except Game 5. He only has 16. That's still a so-so game for certain players. But Wiggins been consistent every game of the series, in my opinion. Poole had spurts, and Klay Thompson had a couple of good games. I just felt like Golden State had more weapons. So that's what I believe. I believe that I believe it could go to Game 7, but I can see Golden State closing it out in 6. And Steve Kerr said it in the post-game conference. He said we're closing this thing out in 6. Of course, he's gonna say that, that's his squad, but I believe him. Johnny says Boston doesn't have a true facilitator. They need that badly. Golden State definitely is real. So if they don't have a true facilitator, what was you basing your opinion on when you picked Boston without a true facilitator? How did you think that they were going to win the series totally? So he said, I slept on Golden State defense. They balling. Thank you. That's a great comment. A lot of people have been talking about Boston's defense, but Golden State defends. They might be smaller than Boston, but they defend. I won't say 1 through 5 like Boston. Steph sometimes, they try to pick on Steph, but I would say 2 through 5. Clay can't defend like he used to, but he still can dig in. Andrew Wiggins has been doing a great job on Tatum. We know Draymond can defend and Looney can defend. So, I mean, if you want to say Boston is better, I would say slightly because of the Marcus Smart factor. He defense player of the year. But Golden State can defend, and Steph is not horrible on defense. I just think that his body type don't, he don't have a great body type. He don't have great technique with defense, but he's not a terrible defender. Jason Tatum was supposed to be the difference in the series. Yeah, he's supposed to. And listen, I'm not even gonna lie. I thought after the last 2 series that Tatum had joined the club of possibly top 10 player in the league. I believe that, but this series is bringing them back down. You cannot perform like this. I know it's his first finals. This also Wiggins' first finals, and Wiggins is balling out. And I will argue to say Wiggins might be having a better series than Tatum. Not looking at the numbers right now, but just based on what I've watched, he has been more consistent than Jason Tatum. I don't know. Johnny said Tatum was supposed to be play better. He hasn't went off and they won 2 games. That's true. That's absolutely true. Tatum, I definitely thought Tatum would probably would go off, but he has not. He has not, and that's shocking. One thing, and speaking of Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, as you see Jordan Poole hit that buzzer beater, this is what I'm saying. Like, Jordan Poole can go off for like a 8-point stretch all by himself, and that's what I base my opinion on. The fact that Steph can get crazy hot, Clay can get great. They can carry a team by themselves for spurts, and I felt like Boston couldn't do that. That was why I picked Golden State, and I believe that is starting to show. Is Tatum and Paul George the same player? That's a that's a that's a good comparison, but I would say Paul George is slightly better. He gave himself name Playoff P, but I believe that he's been in enough playoff games where we've seen Paul George go off. And we've seen Jason Tatum go off in previous series, but we just haven't seen him go off in this final series. But I think that's a fair comparison. I like that comparison. Tatum and Paul George. I never thought about them two as a a comparison, but I do like that comparison. But let's talk about Brown and Tatum, because one thing I've noticed, and they've been saying it all throughout the finals, and it's blatant. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, when you force them to their left, don't have quality shots. And I remember Tom Thibodeau used to do this with every team that he faced. He would force them left to make it tougher. And you would think in the NBA that these players wouldn't have problems going to their left, but they absolutely do. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum do not have, as you see Andrew Wiggins slam it down as the exclamation point. They have a problem going to their left and still getting quality shots, as opposed to getting to their strong hand going right. It's a total different shot selection, and it's crazy, man. It's crazy. So, as you see, Warriors take Game 5, and they have a chance to close it out, and in Game 6 in the Boston Garden, TD Garden now. But Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, it was always rumblings talking about they should break them up, and they've made the finals, right? But you can tell why people said they kind of similar in how they play, and they both have struggles going to the left. And so, man, they got to show up. John Askew says they don't believe in what they see going left. That's another good take on what you're saying. You saying the looks are different, or they eyes are starting to see different than what it actually is? Are you saying that the shots are still there, but because they going left, they don't see it the same? That's a good take, man. That's a good take. I like it. Do we see Game 6 Clay? That's a great question, my brother. He has a nickname of Game 6 Clay. And if you get Game 6 Clay, Johnny, you can wrap that up, right? I know you can say you can wrap that up. Because Game 6 Clay balls out. Game 6 Clay balls out. Eyes are seeing different. That's a problem, man. And you know what I'm starting to see? I think the experience of Steve Kerr might be shown against M.A. Udoka as well. And I know he came from the Popovich tree, and he's been in a great playoff series, but he hasn't been the head man in a playoff series. And I believe the experience of Steve Kerr, the adjustments of the finals, may be starting to show its true colors starting to come out as far as the experience being shown with the coaches. Johnny says it's over. I think you're saying if Game 6 Clay comes out, it's definitely over. Yes. And if that's the case and the Warriors win, I would love to have that bragging rights of me picking the series right over you, just based on the fact that you are Team LeBron and I'm Team Jordan, and just the fact that I can win something over you with that would be great. I would hang that over your head. You hit a great point. Kerr has been the better coach. Listen, man. I like Emma Udoka. I believe this is his first year with the Celtics, and to take them to the finals is a great feat. But you can start to see that the coaching is starting to show. John Askey's, I'm Team LeBron as well. Lord. This is what you get for being Team LeBron. You get the gunshots, man. You get the gunshots. You was doing good. You had great comments, great takes, and then you posted this one right here. But you know what? It's all good. It's all good. The LeBron lovers are welcome on the show as well. Uh, uh, Johnny says you got me laugh out loud whenever you like me on. Oh, you already know. You said you wanted to come on, especially when the series was over. We're gonna break it down and actually seeing what happened. Listen, man. Oh no, hold on. Let me put this last comment up. Go James. Listen, shout out to Johnny, man. Listen, John John G Askew 3 or John Gaskew. I don't know which one. I don't want to mess you up. But if you love LeBron James, they got a show called Goat James Kingdom that they do every Sunday. I think 11 o'clock Central, 12 Eastern, I believe, and where they try to prove that LeBron James is the GOAT by posting a whole bunch of stats. That's all. That to me, that's what they do. They post a whole bunch of stats, and I'm not going to get into this right now, but they whole argument is they believe LeBron James is the GOAT, and they post a whole lot of stats to back it up. Of course, LeBron James got all the stats and all of that stuff, but I say that you can't just use just the stats. Okay. Of course, he got all the stats, longevity, greatness. He is great. I'm not getting that wrong. But I say you use the stats plus you use your eyes on what you watch. And with me, the eye test, I believe Jordan is better because of different things that I'm not going to get into. If you want to hear my reasons, then we have to set that up on another show or on a Johnny's show, and we'll talk about that. But listen, LeBron James is great. I'm not taking that away from him. And I'm gonna say this one last thing. I'm gonna say this one last thing about LeBron James, and then I'm gonna leave it alone because listen, I cannot deny his greatness. But this is one of the things I told my dude at work, who's a LeBron fan. He loves LeBron, but he still says he would choose Jordan first. Go figure. But I told him, I said, the mindset of a Jordan versus the mindset of LeBron James. If LeBron James had Jordan mindset, I believe it would be no question who would be the GOAT is. But because of his mindset and the way he goes about things at certain times, that's why he's not the GOAT. I believe, and we've seen Jordan mindset and LeBron come up different times against Boston, against Detroit, certain times, even against my Bulls when he hit that game-winning shot in Chicago. When he said, scratch that play, give me the ball. We've seen him have that mentality. But for whatever reason, he don't do it all the time. And that's my only knock against LeBron James, if you really want to know. But that's my only knock. If he would have had that mindset, I believe he would unquestionably be the GOAT. And he would have a better success in the finals if he had that mindset. That's just my opinion. But like I say, nothing. LeBron James is definitely great, but I just choose Jordan over him. Let's go through some more comments. Johnny says you choke up saying that name every time. Yeah, I start itching. Every time I gotta talk about LeBron James. But that's what happens. Don't let Boston pull this off because you won't be calling me on again. Yes, I will. I would definitely call you on again. I ain't that dude where like if I'm wrong, I can't stand up to the fire. Of course, I will have you back on. But I believe that it's not going to happen. Golden State, hopefully, will close out in 6. If not, they got a great chance to close it out at the crib in 7. But I am scared of a game 7. I'm not going to lie to you because anything can happen in the game 7. Anything can happen in the game 7, and I don't want to. That might be the game. Jason Tatum goes off, and we don't want to We don't want to see that. We don't want to see that. LeBron is a point guard compared to a scorer. It's about what you like. Listen, I agree, but I believe that LeBron has been the best player on, I would probably say, all his teams. And because you are the best player, sometimes I don't need you to be a point guard. I need you to be a shooting guard, a scoring guard. And so that's my thing with LeBron. Like I say, the most physically gifted dude that I've seen in my lifetime. It's all about, it was just the mindset thing with me. But like I say, I've seen it come out of him in different spurts. But for whatever reason, in different occasions, he just chose to be passive or trust his teammates too much, in my opinion. And that's my knock. That's my only thing. Johnny Bacari says, but I was wrong. I called Boston in 5. Them turnovers cost me that. That's good, man. I'm proud of you acknowledging your wrongness. You know what I'm saying? That's a good step in the right direction. Maybe you can start saying that on some of your on your post on your GOAT James Kingdom post. You know what I'm saying? I don't see a lot of I was wrong on that. I just see that you go back to your points and you don't acknowledge nothing. John says your heart is going to beat different when Boston win Game 6. It might. But Game 7, I'm not scared. I am not scared. Once again, y'all, this is the Allen Powell Show Tuesday night. We are breaking down the NBA Finals. Some of my comments slid in some LeBron James comments, or maybe I started it off. I don't remember. But everything always leads back to LeBron anyway. But we had a little LeBron GOAT discussion for a quick second. I think I was shouting out my guys' show as well. But y'all share the live. Y'all people can see it. They can comment, and we continue to talk about the NBA Finals. We talked about Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, how they're inconsistent. The inconsistency of them. Those are the two stars. Those are the two that's supposed to step up for the Celtics. And they have not been doing it on a consistent basis. And Boston does not have enough firepower to sustain the Golden State Warriors. They don't. John says, the last time the Warriors played a Game 7 in the Finals, we remember what happened. Listen, y'all talking about a whole bunch of ifs and fifths right now. Let's get there first, okay? Right now, y'all got to worry about Game 6. Don't worry about Game 7. Worry about Game 6 first. Y'all, everybody who picked the Celtics, worry about Game 6. Because y'all are on a fence. Elimination. Y'all on a way to going fishing, okay? They on a way to go fishing. So worry about Game 6, and then if they win Game 6, then we can talk about a Game 7. But for right now, Game 6 is what we should be focused on. And you should be focused on who is going to step up for the Celtics. Because like I said earlier, usually role players play better at home. I thought that Grant Williams would have one big game this series. He, throughout the playoffs, Grant Williams have had one big game. He had one against Milwaukee, I believe. He might have had one against Miami, I believe. And we haven't had a Grant Williams sighting. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. We have not had a Grant Williams sighting at all. Where is he? Johnny said, you keep saying firepower as if Boston not giving games away. Are they giving them away, or are Golden State taking them? I mean, are you gonna give Golden State some credit, or are you gonna say Boston gave them away? I mean, when I say firepower, Steph been balling out except Game 5. Correct me if I'm wrong. Andrew Wiggins has been consistent every game. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's called firepower. Clay has showed up. That's another firepower. So, I mean, Jordan Poole has had spurts. Firepower. We've seen sightings, more sightings from the Warriors. We've seen Jason Tatum probably, one game? Jaylen Brown, 1 game. Al Horford, 1 game. Marcus Smart, 2 games. I mean, what are we talking about here? Who has had more firepower? Boston Celtics or the Golden State Warriors? And you put quotations around firepower. Do I need to use another word? Does that word bother you or something? Do I need to use another word? Is that it? Brown will step up and Horford. So you don't believe Tatum will, though. That's very interesting that you said Brown and Horford. You didn't say Tatum. Are you losing hope in Tatum? Are you losing hope in Jason Tatum? Boston fans who's watching, are you losing hope in Jason Tatum? Because the Johnny seems like he's losing hope in Jason Tatum. And in Game 6 at the crib, he says Brown and Horford. He did not mention Jason Tatum. I noticed that, my brother. I noticed that. Grant Williams letting Draymond punk him. Hey, You think you know what? That's a good point. Maybe Draymond has gotten to Grant Williams' head because I believe you. Somebody said that Draymond told Grant Williams, "Man, you trying to beat me? You want to beat me so bad." But I don't think he want to beat you in this series because Draymond been stinking up the joint. He had a decent game yesterday, but Draymond been stinking up the joint. But maybe that first game when Draymond was kind of pushing them around, maybe that's what Johnny is talking about. That do you saying that game one totally took Grant Williams out the series? Is that what happened? Is that what happened? Grant Williams is playing hurt. He just had surgery. Okay, I didn't know that. Well, thank you for that. Thank you for that. Thank you for that revelation. Everybody who's tuning in, y'all share this live. Y'all people can comment. We are talking game number 5. We're breaking down game 5 and previewing game 6 of the Warriors and Celtics NBA Finals closeout game for the Warriors. Y'all share the live to y'all people. They can see it. They can comment. We are posting comments and keeping it moving. It took a Steph 43-point game in the fourth quarter to get game for Wiggins ball in game 5. Sounds like firepower to me, my brother. Sounds like firepower to me. Tatum is Golden State is Golden State's focus, so he will do him. They need more than Tatum. But that's what I'm saying. Who else is gonna show up? Even Derek White has kind of slowed down some. He had a big game early in the season. He slowed down. Where's Pritchard? Pritchard is not giving them too much of nothing. Like these players who have had moments in the playoffs are now starting to slow down. And you need everything. You need everything and everybody in this next game for sure. I want to talk about going forward. So let's talk about Steph Curry's game 5 performance. He for the first time he broke his streak of 3-point shots in I believe playoffs. I think it was 200 some games, or I forgot the record, but the record was broke. He hit 0 threes, 0 for 9, and he only had 16 points. And Wiggins balled out. He's been consistent. Let's go back to the comments real quick. 2 games to go. Y'all ready to drop Draymond. Now it's firepower. What do you mean? I never mentioned Draymond when it came to firepower, though. Did you notice that, my brother? Did you notice that? I never mentioned Draymond when I talked about firepower. So notice that, acknowledge that, and notice that. When I talk about firepower, Draymond is nowhere in the equation, my brother. Okay? So don't even put Draymond in that. Everyone for the Celtics will show up game 6. Okay, so you think Jason Tatum gonna show up too? Okay. You better than my brother Johnny, because he didn't say everybody. He said Jaylen Brown and Horford. So wait, you saying everybody on the team's gonna show up? When you say everybody, give me the list of names, because I know you don't mean the total roster for sure. But you got to be talking about like what 6 or 7 players is going to show up for game 6. You got to be meaning 6 players is going to show up for game 6. So give me your list of players who's going to show up for game 6 for the Celtics, because he said everybody's going to show up. But Steph Curry's game 5 performance, and I put this question out on TikTok today, just posted on Facebook before the show. If the Warriors win a championship and Andrew Wiggins has a better game, will Steph lose out on another MVP? Or will the NBA just give it to Steph because for his legacy? You know, a lot of people been talking about he don't have a Finals MVP. Of course, Iguodala won the first one, and then KD won the last two. Tice. So you saying Tice gonna show up too? You saying Tice gonna show up too for the Celtics? But like if Andrew Wiggins, like I believe he's in the running. Like if he put up another 26 performance. And just say Steph only scores 16 and 20 points, and Wiggins have another double-double, like 26 and 13. Is it out of the realm of possibility that he will be the MVP, or will the NBA just give it to Steph because he's like the golden child? Let's just be honest. He's the golden child. It would be a good story for Steph to win an MVP. I don't think Andrew Wiggins will really care. He'll just be glad just to win the championship. But if Steph lose out on that MVP, like that would be a big deal. That would be a big talking point. John says Tatum, Brown, Pritchard, White, and Horford will step up for the Celtics. He named 5 players. Okay. Everyone for the Celtics will show up. Okay, that's a nice list. That's a nice list. If they all show up, you might listen. If they all show up, you're right. Celtics will win. If all of them show up, they will win. But when you say show up, that means you got to be putting Tatum over 20, 25 points, Brown probably over 20, Pritchard possibly getting 10 points, White probably having double figures. And matter of fact, everyone that you list got to be over double figures if you say all of them show up. It's going to be a blowout. Wow. You saying the Celtics going to blow them out. I don't believe that. I believe if it was 3-1, if it was 3-1, I believe Golden State might mail it in because they got a 2-game thing to play with, even after the fact. But they're not going to play around with a Game 7. They don't want anything to happen. I believe Golden State is going to come out very strong. They're going to match Boston's energy early. Believe me when I tell you. Steve Kerr, I believe, is going to have them ready. They're going to be focused. It's all going to depend on if Boston can make shots. It's all going to depend on that. And we all can see Golden State you cannot outshoot them. That's what the NBA fails to realize. People try to shoot threes like they got Steph and Clay on their team. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum is not Steph and Clay. They are great players, but they can't shoot like them. They can't even shoot like Jordan Poole. They can get streaky and get hot every once in a while, but over the course of a series, Golden State is going to outshoot you. Even if they're the smaller team. They can be the smaller team and still outshoot you. That's the greatness of Golden State. And we're starting to see that starting to show. Boston has a hard time scoring sometimes, and that's why I pick Golden State. We've seen it even in the Miami series. They can go 6-7 minutes without a field goal. They can do that. They have done that. And you cannot do that against Golden State because Golden State can defend and score. They don't go that long without scoring like that often as Boston do. Nobody is Steph and Clay. I agree. And that's why I picked Golden State. James Hinton checking in turnovers will determine the winner. That has been a big key in the series. Turnovers. Listen, Golden State has turnover problems too, but Boston when Golden State turns it over and when Boston turns it over, it's two different things. Golden State, they can turn the ball over. It can hurt them, but not as much as when Boston turns it over. Because Boston, when Golden State turns the ball over, Boston gets 2s and sometimes 3s. Boston turns the ball over, and it can be more 3s than 2s for Golden State. And last time I checked, 3s are worth more than 2s. That's why you cannot turn the ball over like that against Golden State. You can't do it. Kanisha Goodson checking in on Facebook. Golden State closing out in Game 6. I agree with you. I definitely agree. Thanks for checking in, holding it down for the women with the sports. My classmate coming in. I agree with you. Golden State will close it out in 6. I always felt turnovers were going to decide a series. Listen, it's been a big deal. It's been a big deal. So, but I want to know your opinion about the MVP. What's going to happen? Who will win MVP if the Warriors close it out? And if Andrew Wiggins has a better game than Steph, who will win the MVP? That's my question. Who will win MVP? We seen Andrew Wiggins last game have 26, and he had a big game in Boston. Had like a 16 rebound game, a double-double. So he's capable of having another big game on the road. If that happens, if Wiggins has a better game than Steph, who will win MVP? Will the MVP Wiggins? John says Wiggins would win MVP. Are you sure? Because we know that the NBA can dictate certain things. We know Steph Curry is the golden child, the media darling. Everybody roots for him. I don't see a lot of people hating on Steph. It's hard to hate on Steph. And it would be a good story for Steph to win MVP. And I believe that some people believe no matter what happens, Steph is still going to win MVP based on that performance that he had, I believe, in Game 4 with 43 points. That cemented him if the Warriors win the championship as the MVP. That game alone, even though Wiggins has been very consistent in this series, that game alone for Steph Curry won him MVP. So I don't know. We gonna see. But first things first, the Warriors have to close out Boston. They have to close them out. And then we will see who will win MVP. But listen, I can't wait to check it out. John says if Steph wins MVP, it was decided before the series started. Are you saying if Andrew Wiggins outplays him and he still wins? Are you saying it? Because I mean, if Steph put up another big performance in Game 6, that's really going to make it clear cut then. But I'm specifically talking about just if Wiggins outplays him. But are you saying your comment if Steph wins MVP was decided before the series started? If Wiggins outplays him and Steph wins, are you saying that it was decided before the series even started? Wow, he drunk. Who are you talking about drunk? Cliff Mason checking in from the Mason Report. Who are you talking about drunk? Steph clearly deserves it already. Hold on. Are you serious? Have you been watching Andrew Wiggins throughout the series? I believe that he's been playing very consistent. And he had a better game than Steph last game. Cliff, do you agree with that? John, but why talking about a losing team player winning MVP? Listen, man, the Celtics are not winning this series. It's a wrap. But I like your confidence. Sticking with your pick. I like it. Wiggs outplayed Steph in one game. One game. Okay. But I will have to go back and look at all the games. You might be right. I got to go back and look at all the games. But that one game was game 5. Plus, he had a big double-double in Game 4, but I know that was a Steph game. But he's been very consistent, and I don't have the numbers right in front of me, but you might be right. It might just be the one game. I could be wrong, but I believe that Wiggins might have a case. I could be wrong. I have to look up the stats, but I appreciate you checking in, saying that Steph has outplayed him every game except one, and if that's the case, then I stand corrected. But I'm just looking at the recent games. And that's what we do. What we just seen. I can't go back at the very beginning of the series. I know Steph been balling out every game, though, besides game 5. Steph had the biggest double-double with the 40 piece. Okay. But if we go back, you're going to make me go back and look at all the games now. Let me go back. Now I'm about to go back and look at all the games, because I can't remember. Let's see. So game one, Boston won. I'm looking at the box score now, and Wiggins had 20. Steph Curry had 34. Okay. So one game for Steph. Okay. Game two, Warriors won. Box score. Wiggins, okay, he only had 11. Steph had 29. You're right again. That's two games for Steph. None for Andrew Wiggins. So you're right so far, Cliff. Game 3, Wiggins 18, Steph 31. You're right again. Okay. Game 4. We all know what happened in Game 4. Warriors won and Steph went off. So that's 4 games. 4 games for Steph. Okay, you're right. You know what? I stand corrected. Cliff Mason is right. Steph has been balling out every game besides Game 5. And I think I got caught up in a moment, which we sometimes do. The last couple of games, Wiggins been balling out. Steph in Game 2 and Game 4 with Jordan-esque. You know what? Hey, listen. I know Game 4 was off the chain, but looking at he has been balling out every game. What Wiggins have done on the offense and defensive side matters. Listen, John is absolutely right, Cliff. John is right. The defense he's been playing on Tatum. Steph Curry ain't been playing on defense on Jason Tatum as much as Wiggins has. And Iggy's won a finals MVP for doing what Wiggins is doing now. That is absolutely correct. That's a great comment. That's a great comment. He's doing what Iggy did to LeBron. Even though LeBron did his thing, Iggy slowed him down a little bit. And he won a finals MVP just because of that. But I think that, like I say, this time, even if Wiggins have a great game and shuts down Tatum, I still think they're going to give it to Steph. Even though he has not played the defense that Wiggins has. And you got a great point, John, but I just think they're going to give it to Steph. But John acting like Steph ain't playing clutch defense. Plus, Iggy did not deserve MVP. I didn't hear a lot of people making a big fuss about the MVP going to Iggy because the way that he was inserted into the lineup and the difference that it made. You can clearly see the difference that it made against the Cavs and LeBron that year. You could clearly see that. I didn't see a big fuss about it at that time. Bron averaged 1 million points that series. Iggy ain't slowed down nobody. Come on, man. Don't do that. You know he did. You know he did. Don't do that. Don't do that. LeBron is great. So he got his, but it wasn't as easy as when Iggy got on him. Like, Iggy made it tough. Iggy made it tough. Don't do that. Don't do that, Cliff Dog. Now you just disrespectful. Being disrespectful and acting like Iguodala did not slow LeBron down, son. When you great, you still gonna get chores. But he made it tough, and it was the difference in the series. Go back and look at that series. When Iguodala got put into the starting lineup, that was a huge, huge deal. Huge. So don't do that. But hey, listen, Cliff, you made a great point. Steph been balling out all series, but John made a great point as well. The defense that Wiggins has been playing has been very important in this series. So both of y'all made points. Both of y'all made points and valid points at that. It's going to be. I think they're going to give it to Steph if they close it out. I'm looking for the Steph defense he's talking about. Listen, I will say this: Steph has been playing decent defense. Like I said earlier, Steph does not have great technique on defense, but he's not a slouch. He's just not a turnstile like a James Harden or so. Like Steph, he puts forth the effort. He just don't have good technique and a good body to guard. Since you brought up LeBron, why so much love for Steph and so much hate for LeBron? Look, man, I don't have so much hate for LeBron, to be honest. I just picked Jordan over LeBron, and people perceive it as so much hate. If you listened to me earlier, I said he's great. I believe that if he had Jordan mentality, he would be unquestionably the GOAT. But because of some of the things that he does, I believe that Jordan is better. I will pick Jordan. I believe Jordan is better. And that's all that was. I ain't got a lot of hate for LeBron. I just call it like I see it. If you want to call it hate, that's fine. That's fine. Cliff Mason says Tatum has been turning the ball over all playoffs. We can't credit Wiggs for that. What do you mean you can't credit Wiggs for that? He was the primary defender against him. Now, so when people turn the ball over, you're not gonna give the defender credit. You just gonna say he's been doing it just losing the ball on his own. That's called defense, my brother. Defense. I can't tell. You talking about the LeBron stuff? Listen, man, if you want my full take on LeBron, I would give it to you. But I'm tired of having to try to defend myself when people call me a LeBron hater. LeBron is great. He's great. I just picked Jordan over him. That's not hate. That's just, this Jay from work. Oh, man, that's my dude. Now, see, I thought you was your son for a second. I thought you was your son, but that's you. You don't do that, man. We had great conversations about LeBron and Jordan. And you talk about how much you love LeBron, but you clearly stated you would pick Jordan first, and you picked Jordan over LeBron. So stop that. Stop that. Once you go on to that GOAT James kingdom where they post all that stuff and tell that you would pick Jordan over LeBron, do that for me. Do that for me, and tell them to use the eye test, which they say you can't use. Go on there and tell them what you told me. And tell Joseph Robinson, too. John says, Mason watched the game on a different type TV. Hey, man. Listen, you know what? Everybody's eyes see something different. That is true. That is true. That is true. Maybe maybe we not watching the same game. You know, maybe we not watching the same game. Um, Cliff Mason says Kobe over LeBron, MJ over Bron, Bill Russell over Bron, Kareem over Bron, George Mikan over Bron. Now that's hate right there. I ain't say all of that. That's some hate. That's some that's some hate. That's some hate for real. I don't do all of that. I ain't even see half of them players he talking about. So I'm not going to disrespect LeBron with some people I didn't get a chance to see play. I'm not going to do that. LeBron is I would say he's the second or third best player that I've seen in my lifetime. It's between Kobe and Bron. I definitely put Kobe in the discussion as well. But LeBron is definitely on my Mount Rushmore for sure. On especially of people I've seen overall. Mason says that's straight facts. He said he put all of them people over LeBron. That's some hate. There's nothing Kobe has over LeBron. Nothing. Please stop. Once again, Kobe had the mindset of Jordan, and so I think because of that, I think they kind of like on the same level in my opinion. I hated Kobe. I ain't gonna lie. When he was playing, I hated him. But I believe Kobe is on the same level career-wise as LeBron James. Now, if you want to say LeBron can do everything better, then but LeBron can do better than everybody. He's an all-around great. He's an all-around player. But just because you can do something better than somebody doesn't mean that you are a better player than that person. That's the key. That's the key. Because if you look at Jordan and LeBron, if you look at Jordan and LeBron probably can do more than everything than Jordan besides score. And some people can put up stats and say he does that better than Jordan. But if you look at the eye test, you look at what you're watching on TV, I'm picking Jordan all day. I know when it's go time, I have no doubt that Jordan's gonna come with it every single time. LeBron, on the other hand, might not. I'm not saying that he won't, but it's a chance he might not. He might not come with it. I.e., Dallas Mavericks, or like me and my man John Jay at work was saying earlier, LeBron can have a mismatch. He can dominate for like 8 straight points against the defender, and for whatever reason, just stop doing that. That's a problem that I have with LeBron James. Like, people talk about how great his IQ is, but when you don't dominate JJ Barea, who's defending you in the NBA Finals, that's low IQ, in my opinion. Nobody talks about that though. They talk about how great his IQ is because he can remember all these plays and he know what the defense is doing before they do it. But you don't take advantage of it. But people don't want to talk about that. They just want to put up all his stats. No, this is a thinking game as well. And I want Jordan's mind instead of LeBron's mind because Jordan's mind is smart and he's going to kill you. LeBron might just be smart, but sometimes he don't kill you. You see what I'm saying? That's my only thing with LeBron. That's my only thing. He's the most physically gifted player that I ever seen. Sam Boynes checking in on YouTube. Thanks for checking in, my brother. How you doing? Cliff Mason said Bron has 4 contemporaries with the same number of titles. Listen. I'm not gonna argue with that. John says 1 regular season MVP and only 2 finals MVP tells the whole story. Okay. LeBron isn't a good one-on-one player. I don't know if I agree with that. He's a good one-on-one player when he want to be. We've seen him dominate. Like I say, in that Detroit series, that Boston series, he went berserk. We've seen, and I would call that the Jordan LeBron. But we only see that come out every once in a while. And that's my knock with LeBron. He don't do it all the time. The eye test tells me a pass first player would be the number 1 scorer in NBA history. That's true. When you're great for a long period of time, of course he's going to have all these historic numbers. Yes, he's been great for a long period of time. Yes. He didn't retire 2 times like Jordan. He never had a major injury. So, and he's been great. So because of that, he's going to have all these records. Does that equate to a better player? I don't believe that. I believe that longevity and greatness has afforded him all these records. Is this something wrong with that? What I just said? I don't think so. Kobe was unquestionably a better defender, and it's not a conversation. I would say this: LeBron in his early years can lock down. In the later years, he's been kind of slouching. So I know. I don't know. Kobe probably have more first team all defense, but I would say those. And I believe that LeBron guarded more positions than Kobe. I believe LeBron guarded 1 through 5, and Kobe mainly just guarded wings, point guards through wings. So, you know that that's something to talk about. I remember the Bulls being up 2-1 on Detroit. Okay, what we talking about here? What we talking about? 2-1 Detroit win. What series we talking about? Here go these LeBron about to start pulling up all these crazy series all of a sudden. Cliff Mason, stop it, John. After the Colorado rape allegations, reporters refused to vote for Kobe. He got robbed 3 times of MVP he deserved. He bringing some politics involved in this thing. Y'all getting deep, man. Y'all getting deep. And please stop with this JJ Barea defending him. Please go watch the series again. So you trying to tell me JJ Barea didn't defend LeBron James? Or is that what you're telling me? Are you trying to tell me that didn't happen? Are you trying to tell me that didn't happen, John? You started off great in the show. Lately, you've been kind of slowing down, my brother. You started off like gangbusters. You was on your stuff. Now all of a sudden, I'm starting to question some of your takes. You know what I'm saying? But I still appreciate the comments. That's the biggest flaw. That's his biggest flaw. Which one, James? Tell the people what's the biggest flaw. Me and you had great conversations, and he's an unbiased lover of LeBron. I would say this, and me and him have great conversations. He believes LeBron is one of the all-time greats. He believes he checks all the boxes as a player, but he's honest in his takes on LeBron. So what is his biggest flaw? So for the people can see what you're talking about. Warriors in 6. So attorney Justin Camper says it's going to close it out in 6. Listen, this is the best attorney in Northwest Indiana, attorney Justin Camper. He's my legal analyst. When we have legal stuff going on in the sports world, you will see him. If you need a lawyer, y'all check that brother out. Message him. The best around. Go check out attorney Justin Camper if you need some legal help. That brother get you right. John says Mason, he won an MVP after that. Of course. So where Vince numbers who played 21 seasons? Bro, Vince has not been as great as LeBron for 21 seasons. That's the difference. LeBron has been great for 21 seasons. Vince has not been great for 21 seasons. He might have played 21 seasons, but he wasn't great for 21 seasons. Come on, man. Let's be honest. Vince came off the bench the last few years. Come on now. What are we talking about here? Just because somebody played a long time don't mean he was great for a long time. Come on, man. Come on. Kobe averaged 7 points a season for like 3 seasons. 7 points a season? Come on, man. Pull it up. Nah. Come on, man. Are you talking about like his rookie season? Are you talking about like his rookie season? And what was the other 2 seasons? Because I might give you his rookie season where he shot a lot of air balls and didn't know how to do this, that, and the other. 3 seasons? I don't know about 3 seasons though, bro. You can't just be saying anything. You gotta provide the facts on that, my brother. 1989. You talking about the Bulls in Detroit in '89? Okay, yeah, the Bulls lost. So what we saying? What we talking about? This is my thing. I give LeBron a pass on his first finals against San Antonio because I believe he was learning how to win. Like Jordan was learning how to win when he got beat by Detroit the first few years, got beat by Boston. I believe he was learning how to win. He had to build his body up to take the punishment that Detroit was giving out. But once he did that, it was a wrap. Okay? Okay? People respect people who go through the trenches and then come out on top like Giannis did. That's my preference, you know. But that's neither here nor there. So Draymond can guard more positions than Kawhi, but nobody says he's a better defender than Kawhi. Listen, Kawhi is a great defender. People might say Draymond might be a better defender than Kawhi now. We haven't even seen Kawhi play. We don't even know. They might say Draymond is a better defender than Kawhi now. Now, and matter of fact, Draymond won Defensive Player of the Year. And was on all defensive teams multiple times. Kawhi, did he win Defensive Player of the Year? I think he might have won it 1 year, but I don't think that's a good comparison. I don't think that's a good comparison. You talking about Draymond and Kawhi, and then we talking about LeBron and Kobe. I don't think that's a fair comparison. Draymond is not on the same caliber of a Kobe or LeBron. So bring another comparison, and then we'll see about that one, my brother. It happened here and there. I forget which one. My boy Jay said he's not consistent with his dominance. He defers too much, way too much. That's coming from a person who loves LeBron. Okay, for all the LeBron fans, there you go. He's not consistent with his dominance. He defers too much, way too much. That's my only knock. He can dominate whenever he wants to. He chooses not to. That's my only knock. Never said he wasn't great. Never said he wasn't Mount Rushmore. Never said he wasn't top 2, 3. But based on what I seen, and based on that exact comment, what he's saying, that's my only knock. That's my only knock. Kobe was drafted in '96. Okay. So what are we talking about? Make your point again, brother, because you just. So what year did Jordan build his body? 91? Listen, did you watch the documentary? Did you watch the documentary? He got beat up by Detroit. He started training, getting bigger so he can take the punishment of the Detroit Pistons, and he overcame them with the help of a growing Scottie Pippen and a Horace Grant. Okay? Okay? He went through the trenches, and he didn't, and see, I don't want to go here, but he didn't leave to go join other greats to beat Detroit. He worked with the team that he had and then overcame them, okay? And if you want to say they was old and this and that, okay, that's fine. I want to bring this back to current finals. If Warriors win, does this propel Steph to all-time top 10? That's a good question. And I also said, if Warriors, and I don't know if you answered this or not, Cliff, but I also said if Andrew Wiggins, if the Warriors win and Andrew Wiggins outplays Steph, oh yeah, you did, because you pointed out all the way that Steph was outplaying him. So yeah, you did do that. Kawhi won it twice. Okay. But I still don't like the comparison because Draymond is not on the same level as a Kawhi, a Kobe, or LeBron. Give me another comparison, brother. Give me another comparison. I'll roll with you. I'm from Chicago. I watch it firsthand. And listen, I'm from Illinois too. I grew up in Markham, Illinois. And then Gary, which is closer to Chicago than Indiana. So I was still getting all Chicago sports. So I've been rocking with Chicago since I've been watching sports. So I watched it firsthand too, brother. We all Chicago. Now the question is, how you from Chicago and you done jumped on the LeBron train? Somebody need to question your Chicago loyalty, okay? That's something that need to be discussed. When you from Chicago, that's blasphemy for you to be Team LeBron. Let's just talk about it. Somebody give me and I think Jay, maybe you too. You probably from Chicago too, and you done jumped on the LeBron train, which is cool, but I don't understand it. We Team Jordan over here, Team Chicago all day. I don't know what y'all doing around here. I don't know what house or who raised y'all to jump on this LeBron train. But whatever. Jordan and Scottie, LeBron and who? What do you mean? LeBron done had D-Wade in his prime. He didn't had Anthony Davis in his prime. He didn't have, I mean, the list can go on and on. I mean, what do you mean? What do you mean? Are you trying to say LeBron didn't have no help? What do you mean? What are we saying here? What are we saying? You saying LeBron didn't have any help? I don't get that comment. But let me get some more comments. To put Steph top 10, who you taking out? Okay, that's a good question. Cliff, I think that's to you. What LeBron and who? LeBron never won a title with another All NBA talent playing alongside him. With without another All NBA talent playing alongside him. That's facts. LeBron has had great teams. D Wade, Chris Bosh, Ray Allen, that was in Miami. And then he created a super team in Cleveland. Kevin Love was a baller in Minnesota, was getting 30 and 20s. And a Kyrie, who was the number 1 overall pick and is an all-star. So what are we saying? He didn't have any help. And now he got AD. And he tried to form another one with Russ, but it didn't work out. So what are we saying, my brother? I'm a basketball fan first. Okay, that's fine. That's good. That's good. That's good. Kyrie, K-Love, stop being territorial. Listen, man, that's how we do in Chicago, man. Die hard Chicago. I'm with all the Chicago smoke. Cubs, Bears. Listen, even when the White Sox was in a World Series, people give me grief for saying you can't be a Cubs and White Sox fan. But I'm from Chicago. Like, I'm not about to root for the Houston Astros when the White Sox is in the World Series. I don't do that. I'm Chicago all day. Blackhawks. I ain't deep into hockey, but Blackhawks. All Chicago all day. All Chicago all day. That's what I do. Anthony Davis. Blast. I don't know what he's talking about. John U. Island. Mason Report bringing the facts. That is facts. He is bringing some facts. Taking out Bird for Steph. Ooh, that's tough. That's tough. Cliff is taking out Larry Bird for Steph Curry in the top 10. That's tough. Well, LeBron was with Cleveland the first time. Okay, I give you that. And that's why I give him a pass. I gave him a pass for the first championship when he lost to San Antonio. He got swept. He didn't have no squad, and he was learning how to win. I don't fault him for that loss. And I don't fault him for losing to Golden State when they had KD. That was a all-time great team. I don't fault him for them losses. But the Miami loss and the other losses, like, I ain't no excuse for that, my brother. You got 6 of them, so you pick them. You pick what losses you want to talk about. I gave him a pass for 3 of them. The other 3, he don't get no pass, my brother. No passes. MJ didn't either. He had a top 50 player. MJ didn't either. He had a top 50 player. Scotty top 50. Yeah, he had Scotty. Okay. I don't know. But listen, hey, is it over? Y'all tell me, is it over? Is the series over? Do the Warriors close it out? Final words. Do the Warriors close it out, or does it go 7 games? What's going to happen in Game 6? Does Steph pull out another great performance like he did in Game 4? Do we have another 40-piece coming out from Steph to cement the MVP and close it out? Or, I know John says Celtics in 7. Everybody who just tuned in, though, for the people who didn't pick it already, y'all give me y'all final takes. Brown, he said Jaylen Brown finals MVP. So you saying Celtics in 7, so he must gonna have to ball out in Game 6 and then ball out in Game 7 in Golden State again. So you got Jaylen Brown just balling out the last couple of games. Okay. Kobe won the title with Danny Farmar, Smush Parker. Come on, hey Cliff. Now listen, I'm with you, but don't act like he didn't have any help either. Kobe had help when he won his title. Don't just try to put them bums up there like he didn't have Pau Gasol and Lamar Odom, and then the first ones he won was Shaq. You know, he had some players, bro. Like, come on, Cliff, don't do that, man. Like, I'll be with you, but we're not gonna put up the bums like he didn't have any help, with his team. Warriors close it out if Steph and Draymond do their job. Will they do their job, Attorney Justin Campbell? Will Steph and Dre do their job? I think people got more confidence with Steph, but will Draymond come to the party? Draymond, you never know. Lately, you don't know what you're going to get out of Draymond. He fouled out multiple games this series, and you don't know what you're going to get out of Draymond. Bron couldn't reach the playoffs with 2 first ballot Hall of Famers. That is true. Injuries played a part in that, but that is a true statement. Pau Gasol was never all NBA till he played with Kobe. Facts. Listen, but Pau Gasol was a bad boy when he was with the Lakers. Let's not get it twisted. Pau Gasol was a bad boy when he was with the Lakers. Come on, man. Come on, don't do that, Cliff. Don't do that. Warriors close it out next game, and Steph gets the MVP with another epic performance. That would be a storybook ending for Steph Curry this year, and that's very likable to happen. Draymond needs to get off his podcast until this series is over. Hey man, I asked Stephen Bardo from the Big Ten Network on his show, is it a distraction? And he said, no, it's not. It's not a distraction because he's doing it after the game. It ain't like he's doing it before the game or during the game. He's doing it after the game. So he's focused, but after the game, he gives you live opinions after the game. So I kind of agree with that. I don't like current players doing TV and podcasts like Pat Bev and CJ McCollum and Draymond doing a pod. I don't like it because they be giving their opinions on other teams as far as personnel moves. Like, oh, they need this, they need that. I'm like, bro, if the team do it and they work and it's against you, then what? Like, that's kind of dumb. I'm not about to give other teams advice on what they should do. And then we seen Pat Bev kind of show like favoritism to James Harden when he talked about James Harden, and Kendrick Perkins called him out. Like, if you're gonna be on TV, you need to be unbiased in your takes. And it seemed like Pat Bev had a bias against Chris Paul, as we seen. It got kind of personal, and then because James Harden, his boy, he kind of took it easy on him and didn't tell the real. So it's like, I don't like these players doing TV while they current players, and they talk about different teams or even certain players. I don't like it. When you retire and you want to do that, now I feel like you can be all the way honest and give real opinions, but not while you're still playing. Like, it's too much, and you might actually help another team out, with some of your takes, because it's crazy. In Memphis, he was. Well, I don't know what we're talking about. Are you saying that he was doing you saying he was doing a podcast before the game? I didn't hear that before. Tatum going for 40 in game 6. Okay. It'd be about time he didn't showed up with a big game like that. If Tatum can do it, that would be good for Boston for sure. I know they looking for it. He's playing terrible. Focus on your game. Dre last night was the best. That is true. He's been playing terrible. Hey, ain't no doubt about that. He's been playing terrible. Like he can't. Like, he don't know how to. I feel like Draymond been playing like Space Jam when he got his powers got taken away from the All-Stars and they couldn't play no more. Like, Draymond don't know what he doing. Current player is not a good move for media unless it's a podcast and they are not playing in the playoffs. I totally agree. Totally agree with that. But we all know Draymond is trying to navigate his way to his next profession, which would be in TV. We all know he's doing it. And it's a great plug. It's a great plug for his podcast because everybody want to hear what he got to say right after the game. So he's going to get the viewers and the content, and he's going to get the ratings because they want to hear what he got to say. This is a great move for Draymond, and he's looking for the future. So business wise, it's a great move. We can't knock that as a business move. If you're a business person, can you actually say that's a bad business move? I like current players talking. It gives us current takes on what players are thinking. Okay, that's true. That's true too. You absolutely right, John. You absolutely right. You was talking about the turnovers. Okay. Got Mr. Tell the Truth checking in. If you seen the promo the early video, the intro video, you'll see that brother on the end. He says Tatum not a real superstar, plays too light skinned. Hey. What about Steph? What about Steph? He light skinned. Is he a superstar? I know light skin get this bad rap sometimes of being soft, but is Steph out there? He light skinned. What you got to say about him and Clay, them Splash Brothers? I know you talked about. I know we was on the golf course one time. You said them light skinned brothers out there doing their thing. When you playing terrible, you don't need to be on a podcast. Listen, but he got guts. You got to say he got guts to continue to do the podcast even when you're playing bad. I believe that if they were losing the finals, it would be even worse. If they was losing and he was still doing that podcast, it would be a bad look. But the fact that they up 3-2 and got a chance to close it out, he's getting away with it. He's getting away with it. That's what it is. Keys to game 6. That's a great question. That's a great question, Jay. Y'all give me what is the key for a Boston victory? Because Boston needs to win. And I want to know your keys for the for Golden State to close it out. Great key, James. Great comment, man. That's a great comment. What are the keys to both teams winning? And don't give me the normal stuff. I mean, you can do that, but give me something that I'm not gonna hear from nobody else. Y'all be the analysts right now. Y'all be ESPN and Undisputed. Y'all give me something. Be NBA on TNT. Inside the NBA. Give me something I'm not gonna get anywhere else. Y'all are my analysts. The Allen Pals, these are the analysts. All of y'all that's commenting, y'all are analysts right now. What are the keys to the to both teams winning? Cliff Mason says, agree with John. We need to hear voices of current players. Okay. I'm not mad about that. I just personally don't like it. Let's see. But you can't be playing terrible. If you were doing great, I would commend him. But you can't be playing terrible and then want to do a podcast. Bad business move for the NBA future. Listen, we all know that NBA players are taking control of like their image and likeness and how they want to move. They figured out that they have the power and they using it. They the players. They can do whatever they want to do. Who gonna shut them down? They know that they got the power and they using it. That's just the bottom line. James Hinton, Steph is top 15. Steph a superstar. Tatum settles too much. Need to play with more force. Well, what about the Golden State defense? I mean, can he play with more force, or is Golden State defense just playing him great right now? Because I see great defense. I see Wiggins out there really, doing great things. Fraymond needs to sit the mic down till he starts playing better. That's possible. But they winning right now, so he getting away with it. Boston needs Tatum. Everything else stay the same. Great defense and great offense. Oh, great analysis, Justin Camper. Jason Tatum, great defense and offense. That's very vague, my brother. I told you to give me something that I'm not going to get anywhere else. Give me something off the cusp, okay? Off the radar. Tell the truth, Golden State key game, 6 Clay. Draymond double-double without fouling out. 30+ from Steph. We talked about game 6 Clay earlier, so I definitely agree with that. Draymond double-double. Are you saying if they get a double-double, they definitely win, but if he don't get a double-double, that they will lose? I need some definite takes right now. Give me a definite take with that Draymond double-double, because I like that. I like that. Boston needs an entire team contribution like game 1. The others would need to be hot. We talked about that earlier. My man John said everybody from Boston is going to step up. He said Brown, Tatum, Horford, Pritchard. He named Grant. I don't think he named Grant Williams, but he named Pritchard. He said Pritchard even gonna step. He said Derek White, and Derek White he said gonna step up. Warriors need Steph make his shots and Dre not play bad. Man, get out of here, Justin Campbell, with your vague analysis, man. No, that you ain't giving me nothing off the cusp right now. To be honest, Boston has played better this series. Golden State been lucky. I definitely disagree with that. How they been playing better when you getting inconsistent Jason Tatum and inconsistent Jaylen Brown? You got one good game from Al Horford. No Grant Williams sighting. Marcus Smart been okay. Like how you figure Boston did play better? I definitely disagree with that. But we all see stuff different, I guess. I don't know. And they losing in the series, so I don't know. Let's see. Draymond 12+ points, 6 plus assists, 10 rebounds, or Golden State loses. Okay, now we got some definite numbers. Okay, now we got something to go on. Draymond have to have 12 points. That's a big ass of Draymond. He hasn't. I don't think he scored 12 points. Might have been like all series. Now I know he good. He can do a 6 assists and definitely 10 rebounds. But that 12 points is going to be the key. I don't know if he can do that. Matter of fact, I will almost bet that he won't do that. So if I'm going based off of what you just saying, Golden State gonna lose because I don't think Draymond gonna get 12. He might get 10 at the most. I don't know if he gonna get 12 plus, brother. I don't know. But look, man. Hey, if you ain't already subscribe to the YouTube, subscribe. But if you already y'all subscribe, go tell your homies to go subscribe, get these numbers up, man, so we can monetize this thing. Y'all go to our Facebook page, follow us, like us, give us a review, follow on Instagram, got the clips on TikTok. I got merch on deck, shirts. If you rock with the Allen Pals, you want to support the show, you can get shirts in any color, jerseys, basketball jerseys, baseball jerseys, tank tops, all the above. And if you know somebody that got a business and want to advertise, we do that as well. But listen, please go to YouTube, subscribe, and tell your homies, you get your family members to subscribe and do all of that good stuff for me. Attorney Justin Capper says Boston has played great defense. Boston has been aggressive on the offense. Golden State has played terrible defense and has had a hard time getting into rhythm. Terrible defense? Are we watching the same game? Because Wiggins been locking Tatum up. I don't know if we watching the same game, my brother. But you know, that's cool. That's cool. We got difference of opinion. But we about to get up out of here, man. I appreciate all y'all checking in, man. Listen, I appreciate y'all, and I'll see y'all next Tuesday with a champion. Let's go.
Hello, Allen Pals. It's the Allen Pals Show. Yeah. Come on.